I want you guys to know this. If your female's not going to have a job, that doesn't mean she doesn't work. Because I have plenty of work that needs to be done domestically within the home. Like Jabri just had to have his flight rescheduled. That'd be something you pass off to your old lady, right?
Yeah.
You know, so that doesn't mean she doesn't work. Cooking and managing your affairs is a major part of her job, like keeping you going so that you can earn the big bucks. That's her actual job.
Exactly.
Like she low key is your manager. You know what I'm saying? Like when I have meetings every morning, I'll get a phone call and Shorty will be like, hey, Marquett, you have 3 meetings today. They're about this, this, and this. Go ahead and get started. And when the meetings are supposed to be over, call me again. Like, hey, meetings should be over. So you need to tell them it's done. And then she'll tell me, like, if I go 3 minutes over, because like sometimes I'll give a consultation, right? And I'm really trying to help people. And so I'm really just deep into focus on what they're talking about, trying to make sure that we can make a breakthrough. And she'll be like, hey, you went 5 minutes over. She's like, we charge this amount of money. So 5 minutes, you just lost $230. You feel me? And that's the kind of female I need, because she realizes, like, you know, when we add this money up, that goes to us.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to train her. She's not going to be a good worker unless you're a good leader. You dig?
That's facts.
You're her employer. She is a worker. You're her employer, actually.
Exactly.
And another thing we have to realize about females is that just like us, they're imperfect. And when they come to you, yes, there's a number of things that you are not necessarily going to explain to them, but you have to remember, you have to enforce your standards. I had one female, I could tell she would not accept who I am, meaning that when she was like, hey, you know, let's go out here, let's go do that, I would be like, okay, well, I could start at this time and I can end at this time. That was a major shock for her. She never heard anybody tell her what time the date is going to end. She heard them say, okay, yeah, I'll meet you at 8 o'clock here at the movie theater or here at the restaurant, but they never say what time is going to end. Me, if I calculate in my mind, either I don't want to smash or you're not about to let me smash tonight, this date has an end time. You know what I'm saying? And it's about to be prompt. I'm leaving on time. Because one thing you got to respect is your own schedule and the fact that you want to get a full 8 hours of sleep and you want to get back cracking as far as that hustling go.
That's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts.
So I set the end time, and the thing that a female will try with you is when it's in the end time for the date is, she try to start extending it or like extending the goodbye process and like holding on to you when it's time to kick rocks. Nah, you got to enforce that standard with her. So the way you live and behave is explanation enough.
That's facts. That's facts. Lead by action, by words.
That's the key, because they're going to argue them words all day.
And they can do the word thing. They can do the word game all day.
That's their specialty.
Damn. That's why you got to keep a couple in the pocket.
Camp in writes, how common are girls who are 8s, 9s, 10s and wife material? In my personal opinion, maybe like 3% of them. It's extremely uncommon, especially if you are in the West. Maybe if you're in like a rural part of Hungary, maybe if you're in a rural part of sub-Saharan Africa, maybe if you're in a very conservative village in Morocco, there's no way you're going to find an 8, 9, 10 that's wife material. I promise you. The most beautiful women are the biggest headache. They have the biggest mouth. They always have an explanation and they always want an explanation. I promise you. And I've dealt with baddies in all flavors. I'm talking about them Moroccan things. You heard me? Whew, I didn't have some Moroccans so thick it ain't. Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. I'm talking about them fine Mexican things, them hyenas. You heard me? I'm talking about them Asian things in South Korea, getting them from the source. Whew. I didn't have them, and you know I didn't have them snow bunnies, man. I didn't swimming in the snow like Kris Kringle.
Yeah.
You heard me? And then the black ones, they're all the same, no matter what color they paint it. The more attractive they are, especially if they grew up in a city, the more narcissistic they are, the more concerned with their appearance they are, the more expensive they are. It is not worth it from a wife perspective. And one thing I can promise you, all the successful guys I know who are successful and got common sense and didn't get divorced, their wives are average to below average. They're average to below average appearance-wise. But intellect, ability to get things done, finances, they're all well above average. The one guy I can tell you that I can think of right now who's a very wealthy guy, he made this mistake. He was chasing after beauty. Buddy of mine, he got a spot in Panama. at the Trump Tower. It's called the JW Marriott now, but it used to be the Trump. So I'll go down to Panama every now and then. We hang out, do baller stuff. And when we go out to dinner, he'll invite his wife, who's this Colombian chick who's like 22. He like 66. He in his 60s.
God damn.
Yeah, I forget which 60, but he in his 60s. And is his wife bad? Oh, she bad. Bad. But let me keep it real with you, because he's 60, so I don't think he ever gonna see this.
Mm-hmm.
We're out at dinner. Me, my main piece, him, his wife.
He threw out the parentheses.
Yeah, it's a parentheses because I don't really respect her as a wife. She's like, he made the mistake of making a side piece a main dish. He tried to turn French fries into a steak.
Yeah.
And you're always going to encounter issues. So what happened is we out having dinner, right? My main piece is an intelligent, accomplished woman. So she's trying to have conversation with his main piece. And she says to her, like, oh, well, what do you do for a living? And his main piece says, oh, I'm a personal shopper. And then we kind of look at each other like, the fuck?
Huh?
I'm a personal shopper. That means like people hire me to shop and like buy them nice clothes. And then so we're like, okay. So then my main piece is, okay, that's cool, because she's nice, right? She's like, oh, that's cool. Like Marquett like does a lot of fashion designs. Actually, he just finished a pair of velvet loafers. She's like, yeah, we'll show you. Like, how about you? Like, do you do any designing? She was like, yeah, I've designed stuff. She was like, oh yeah, like let's check it out. Like, let's see what you got. And she's like, oh, I haven't like actually made anything yet. And then we're just like, every time she talked, she just got dumber and dumber and dumber. And it was an embarrassment. Like, he didn't feel embarrassed because he's 60 and at his age, he's already divorced. All he cares about is smashing a bad female.
Yeah.
But that's low morals. His morals have declined.
Yeah.
Check this out. So then where it's like, oh, where have you traveled to? So Rick, the guy, and this is his actual name. Rick's traveled all over the world, business guy. I travel all over the world. So we're talking about the places we travel to. And then we're talking about cooking, because we assume this is a topic she can talk about because she's a Latina. She's from Colombia. The least everybody can cook. So we're talking about, I think it was like papusas or something. And then my main piece says, oh yeah, like I remember when we were in Ecuador, like we ate blah, 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 blah. And then the girl was like, Ecuador, where's that? And we're both thinking like, the fuck?
Lord.
Like, what do you mean, where's that? Like, you live in Latin America. That's like living in Texas and saying, what's Colorado? Like,
oh, this is concerning.
Yeah. And then we were both like, Ecuador? You don't know Ecuador? You don't know El Salvador? She was like, oh, El Salvador. Like, I was like, no, bitch, don't, no. You're dumb. You're dumb. And the point is that when you take a chick around like that, now Rick is in his 60s. Like, she's not going to add a lot of value to what he's already accumulated.
Yeah.
But she damn sure is embarrassing him.
Oh, that's for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she damn sure is embarrassing him. And when we left, my main piece has so much to say about her. And I had to tell her that's evil. Those are our friends. Don't talk behind our friends' back. Now, granted, in my head, I'm thinking this Rick got the dumbest bitch on earth. You know what I'm saying? Like Rick, you was a dumb. You didn't took one of these, basically and married her. That's what you did.
Yeah.
And you still paying the fee, because I know she goes shopping every day.
She's a personal shopper.
She's a personal shopper.
Yeah.
And she dumb as a box of rocks, so she never earns what she spends. You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question, Brody, you will be hard pressed to find the beauty and the brains and the obedience. It just rarely comes together. And if you do find it, that girl's highly religious, or she's from a rural area, or she didn't get certain opportunities to go to college, or her parents sheltered the hell out of her. There's going to be some peculiarity, but bruh, I done been in all countries you want to go to, man. And it just don't happen like that.
Yeah. It's like the badder they are, the more disobedient they are. It's not up for debate.
Yeah.
It's not up for debate. Like, I feel like every man, I want a man to come on here and be like, yo, I found them. They're beautiful and they listen. Because I'm like, bro, you lying.
No, he's lying. And those are the soft guys. When you see those guys, you ever be out in the public and you see a bad bitch?
Yeah.
She bad. And then you look at the dude, you're like, this right here, like he off, like he fat, or he ain't good looking, or he's short. Like, there's something off about him. And you'd be like, how did he do that?
He would a Tinder swindler.
You said what?
He would a Tinder swindler.
Either that, or he was familiar with her because he was in the same environment. He was a coworker or something like that. he got to hang around her a lot, built up the familiarity, and he put up with all her BS, and he made her feel secure with her low self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? And he did everything she wanted him to do, like a little lap dog. And he like played into all that stuff. So what happens is she's going to be with him. She'll even marry him. She'll go the whole mile with him. But she'll see you or me out somewhere and she'll look at you. And I know you didn't seen this before, where you see a guy with a girl and then she look at you and she look at you too deep or too long or too hard. And then you see like, got her. And then you catch her another time in Trader Joe's, or you just catch her out somewhere, beat her down. Beat her down and send her back home to him. And I could tell you, because I done it.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad, man. And that happened a lot when we were in Europe.
Woo-wee.
Like in Europe, y'all got a bad problem out there. Y'all ain't doing something right, man. Y'all being a little too soft out there because y'all girls got a staring problem.
Word to Big Bird.